What's up, everybody? Here's how I made $70 getting break even today on the Nasdaq. This is my P&L for the week. Today's week, or today and the whole week in general, has been pretty buns overall. And tomorrow's a bank holiday, so I'm not going to trade it. But technically, still ending the week off green. I'd say that I played it pretty well. But getting into my trade, and trade recap and everything, how I found my drawn liquidity, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So coming into the day, and what I recommend every single person to start doing if you haven't, is start to build scenarios, right? So I literally, look at that right there. That's the exact time that I had it. I literally had it right before pre-market because, bro, I was rushing. I came home from the gym. I was a little bit late, and I just hopped on charts and quickly did my analysis. But here was my analysis. So coming into the day, right, I was leaning more higher time frame bullish. Reason why is because we had this SMT with a daily gap, right? NQ was clearly rejecting it, but I wanted to see the SMT hold. So what did I want us to see? I want us to see now these more premium gaps get respected. So this was my dream scenario, which is the exact setup that I played, right? It was the Judas off the 1 hour right here, and I wanted to see that hold. Of course, I could just see us just ripping from here, then getting a cont higher, or I could see us dumping in and get some sort of cont lower. But I wanted this low to stay remain and just get the Judas from there. So now coming into market open, what did I see? I see that we clearly get exactly that, and it was extremely fast. Like, look at this 1 minute candle, and I'm gonna show it on the 15-second time frame right here. This was 9:30, so my entry was still a part of the 9:30 candle. It was at 9:30 45. So this was a very, very fast sort of 9:30 candle right here. And Judas, you can see here is my executions. So here was my fill. It was pretty good. It was at 0073, and I was actually aiming for a 1-to-1 around here. I had my order, but then I got a better fill, and then I just put my stop loss here and then TP here. Honestly, should have just went for the 1-to-1, but I did risk a little bit lower, not meaning to, just happened like that because it was very fast. I was practically rushing, and you guys have to understand, like, with these second time frames, you need to be very fucking quick. You need to be on your shit. You need to be really focused, and that's one of the things that's hard. But I truly love the second time frame inversions. I'm going to be implementing them a lot, and also stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of sauce, what I've learned. So again, market open, what do we have? We have 9:30 instantly manipulating lower, and ES as well is in this exact same scenario where it takes out this 30-minute intermediate low. Don't mind that. So now we have true manipulation, right? We have an SMT now with this 1 hour, right? So ES takes out the 30-minute intermediate low, SMT with the 1 hour. We clearly wick reject beautifully from this 1 hour. Look at that wick rejection. That is one of the things that I love, and I've mentioned this before if you've been watching me for a while. The main things that I love about Judases or setups in general is displacement, rejection, and draws on liquidity. Oh fuck. Rejection and having a clear draw on liquidity. And we have all of that in this setup. Now, I will say the draw on liquidity is the only thing that I would like to be better. However, I was more leaning on ES because I knew ES had previous day high and it was very close. So what were my targets on NQ? We still had low time frame targets. Don't mind these drawings. We had low time frame targets being these, 5-minute LRL swing highs. We had a 5-minute internal high, and we just had buy side right here. My bad, I got interrupted. But anyways, we have a clear rejection, displacement, and our draw on liquidity. Right, all I was looking for now, I really just scaled down to lower time frame on Tradeovate. So what I have is I have this Tradeovate usually on my MacBook, and then I have my trading view on my monitor. And I saw that we had a 15-second inversion. Instantly fucking bang, bought that shit. Yeah, as you can see by my fill. And then how did I kind of play this, right? So I went break even after this body closure, which I think was fine because it's also the same concept as now tapping into this 5-minute, right? So that's where most people went break even. I think that's also valid itself. I think that honestly I should have targeted for a 1-to-1, but in all truthfully, I think that it was fine targeting higher RR because we're clearly rejecting from this 1 hour, making our stop loss way more high resistance compared to our TP, which is low resistance. Not to mention ES was just fucking ripping it from here. ES did tap into a 5-minute as well. But it doesn't matter, because if you saw that ES was clearly just fucking ripping it higher, and there was no reason for us to go lower before clearing our objective of this buy side, or at least clearing this LR. And yeah, so I think that, I think that it was just because today has been kind of slow, with it being technically a Friday, right? Tomorrow's bank holiday. So today would be considered as the last day of the trading week. And it's also because this whole week has been kind of iffy. I did get break even there, right, on this candle right here. As you can tell, my P&L was $70, right? So got a break even of $70. Then price later rips. Very brutal, very brutal. Actually doesn't clear the buy side liquidity, I think. And then it starts to just shit the bed. But I'm gonna get more deeper into my actual trade itself. So what makes this setup good? And I think that this was the only really setup of the trading day, and it was traded today. And overall, what makes this setup good? Now here is where I'm going to be showing you guys these sort of drawings that I have laid out. Hopefully this can help some people. I don't know why it doesn't let me show it. Okay, here we go. So what do I have written here? Well, all of you guys have known, I've mentioned this before, but an AMD model aligned with PO3 is the absolute best thing that you can have. And that I personally use in practically all my setups. So what does it basically mean? Well, PO3, is when time is aligned with price, right? So in this case, what do we have? Well, we have pre-market accumulating, generating our LR perfectly for then now 9:30 opens, manipulates into this 1 hour, creates the SMT with it, true manipulation with ES inside the 30-minute, right? And then now we have expecting distribution in the form of what? Displacement through inversions. This is clearly displacing, showing clear rejection. Look at this rejection wick. I don't even trade purely just rejection wicks. I know there are some people that do that, or rejection blocks as well. But if I saw this, right, that would be a big sign that price is clearly rejecting from this 1 hour, and that we are not going to go back to this low, instead displace higher. Right now, one thing I also want you to realize is this sort of is a market maker buy model, right? Looking at it like that, what do we have? I think that this is truly almost close to an A+ setup. I would say A+. When I first took it, I thought it was more of A-, but looking at it more now, I truly love this setup. Just very brutal, got break even. I know that every single person that, my mentors and other people that I watch got break even on it, but very brutal, right? So other than that, now, why would I take a 15-second inversion? If you guys have been watching me, or I don't usually like taking these very low time frame seconds inversions, right? I think not only are they too fast, but a lot of times they're just noise, right? Like it's very just seconds time frames, doesn't really matter, right? Or a lot of people want to hate even on the 1 minute, right? But what I've realized, and you guys have started to see me implement, and I've implemented a lot in my back testing and recently just forward testing and seeing my favorite creator, I'm not gonna leak, but if you know, take these very low time frame inversions, right? So what I've been doing, and I've been realizing is, and one of the biggest things that you guys should all note down or just know, is that price is fractal, right? So the exact same thing on a 15-second time frame right here, LR, you have your AMD, is the exact same thing on a 1 minute chart. The only difference is that it is lower time frame, right? I remember me saying myself clearly, and even one of my friends reminded me, is that, oh, I said that I would never take a 15-second inversion, right? Because it's too low time frame, right? But now I really regret not back testing them earlier, right, and implementing them, because I've been realizing that these are the ones that are playing out the most. And also, you get a better fill, you can get better RR, right? Think about it like this: the 15-second time inversion, right, is right here. I got my fill. Now let's say you were to wait for the highest time frame inversion, which is the 3 minute, right? Or in this case, what, it's the 5 minute technically? Yeah. So let's say you have to wait for the 5 minute. Look at your fill right now. Your fill's all the way up here. Even if you were to take the 3 minute, let's say you had conviction, you take the 3 minute, your fill is still all the way up here. Your stop loss has to be here. Now you have LR build up, and your TP, your RR is gonna be fucked. One thing I've realized myself is I've taken trades exactly like this before, where people have taken 30 seconds, and I've taken the 2 minute highest time frame inversion. Where I've taken the highest time frame inversion, right? and I get fucked, right? I get break even purely because what? I'm not taking the current manipulation like, and I'm not taking and scaling down into these lower time frame inversions to get a better entry and a better fill, right? That's the whole point. You want to get as precise fill and the best entry possible. So in this case, the 15-second was 100% the best entry. The 3-minute, in my opinion, wasn't even valid at all. Just you have LRI, your stop loss. You're just taking too long to inverse it, and it looks like pure shit. The 5-minute is all right. I don't really like that wick here, but the whole trade basis on all of these is the rejection from the 1 hour. This being complete HR, which if you don't know what that means, HR means high resistance, right? So a difference between high resistance and low resistance, right? So low resistance is kind of in the name itself, but high resistance is essentially a lower high that is not going to get taken out until its objective is cleared. In this case, this is high resistance until our objective is buy side liquidity, or ES taking previous day high or whatever is cleared. And low resistance is exactly what you want to target, which we have all here if you look on the 5-minute time frame. And in general, this whole AMD model is low resistance, because low resistance is accumulation. Manipulation now is the rejection from here, and displacement is the inversion. So yeah, that is a trade recap. Really deep analysis on how I kind of play things. Also, one thing to mention is that this is also a great soup, right? Just clearly wicking it out, no body. Look at how the body closes. Like, that's one of the things that I hope you guys can really take from this video, is understanding clear rejection. Look at it. Like, it is perfectly just wick. And it literally, of course, I'm not, a candle pattern trader. But one thing, if you have learned from TJR, is this is I think a doji wick or something, right? And then what do you get right after that? You get another bullish candle, right? Or a more clear bullish candle would be here, and boom, right? So that's, you could have taken off this. Maybe you don't trade the same model as me, but this is a displacing bullish candle after clear rejection. So there are so many ways that you could have played this. And then I think what happened the rest of the day, I don't think there were any setups. We just dumped. Yeah, so we just ended up dumping. Very brutal. We never took out that buy side liquidity. We dumped 600 points. Yeah, so NASDAQ is down a lot. Brutal, but overall. And also looking on the higher time frame as well, something to mention, sorry, I'll clear my drawings, is what are we? It looks like we were practically in a market maker buy model. I'm surprised that, oh shit, my bad, that's my timer. I'm gonna get a haircut soon, but we are in a sort of market maker buy model right here, so I expect us to be bullish for the next week, hopefully. I mean, honestly, we might be, I know, I'd say that we're actually in between sort of LR now, but higher time frame for today, I was 100% bullish. But that's basically it. I hope you guys did learn something a lot. Drop a comment down below what trade you guys took, if you took a trade today, or if you took one during this week, because I know, again, this week has been pretty awful. But anyways, guys, I hope that you do really love these sort of videos that I'm making. And July will be my month. July is my birthday. It's coming up the 23rd. And a day in the life is getting posted this weekend. I know I keep talking about it, but it's going to be one of my best videos I've ever made. So see you guys. Much love. Peace. Subscribe if you haven't already. 150 subscribers coming soon. I think I'm at 145 or 146 right now. Anyways, guys, much love. And yeah, just have a great weekend. Great long weekend. Bank holiday tomorrow. Peace.